Hey everyone, and welcome back. I'm Nicole, and this is Letting It Be So. Today is going to be another hashtag Friday Sews Catch-up, which was, of course, a hashtag started by Jen from Jeanne and Jen's sewing room, so that we can all share everything that's been happening in our sewing rooms. I say over the past week, I obviously didn't have a Friday Sews episode last week because I was very busy. More on this later, so I just did not have any time to sew or film either. So yeah, that's why there wasn't one this week, but that means I do have stuff now to catch you up on. Just quickly on what I am wearing. So this is another one of my ready to sew Jeanne T-shirts in this heavy viscose jersey. It's got this sort of I feel like it's like zebra print, but make it watercolor is the vibe. But yeah, it's a really nice t-shirt for the nice weather. Yeah, that's what I'm wearing. Okay, so what have I been working on since I last spoke to you? I don't have a 100% finished make, but it's like, we'll call it 95% finished make. Yeah, so we're going to call it 95% finished because it just needs a teeny tiny little bit more hand sewing. So I wanted to pick a good project for the fabric that I got in the first edition of the Lamazi Makers Club. So I got the Inspire bag, which had 2 meters of Lamazi's own brand printed viscose, and yeah, I wanted to choose a pattern that would showcase that fabric, and not have too much in the way of seam lines to detract from the print itself. So the pattern that I chose is the True Bias Roscoe Blouse, which I'm trying to think if I have actually made it up before. I mean, it was all cut out and everything in terms of the pattern pieces, but I think it's never been in my wardrobe, so I don't know what happened. But yeah, obviously that's a very, it's just a raglan blouse with some gathering detail at the neckline and the cuffs. So it's, not too many pieces, again, not breaking up a nice printed fabric with too many seam lines. So let's show you it now. So you can see I've got the neckline, which is, all gathered in to some binding. I've added a label, which says I sew for me. And so your binding goes into then this tie. So you've got a little sort of V-neck type slit in the front, just to give it a little bit of interest. And so it's not super high cut. And obviously, this is coming undone now. So you can either wear it, with the tie tied, or you can just wear it with it kind of hanging open, and then you've got these big sleeves that again go into binding. So this is where actually the tiny little bit finishing I have needs to happen. So you can see, I've got pins in there. The pattern does say initially that you can just stitch in the ditch, but I wanted this to look as neat as possible, so I'm hand sewing it down. So I just got those to do, and then the hem, I've got no idea what you can see. The hem is just a folded over hem on it. So there we go. That's so even way you can see. Yeah. So got this just folded over hem. So yeah, it's literally just that extra bit of hand sewing, and I just underestimated the other evening how much time it was going to take me, because I also did the neckline, and then last night I was out at life drawing, so I didn't have an opportunity to do it. So potentially this evening we'll get that sorted. But yeah, I think this is going to be, the print is so lovely and so vibrant, all these rainbow colours, so I'm really looking forward to having this being wearable. But yeah, that is the Roscoe that I have, I'm calling it 95% finished. And then the other thing that I've been working on, that's in terms of still being sewn on my machine, I cut out a couple of projects when I cut out the Roscoe, just to have a few things all ready to go for when I did have more time to actually be properly sewing. And one of those was from my spring and summer plans video, which I'll pop a link to, and that was to try out the Donny shirt, which again, another party I'm very late to, but yeah. So I had some viscose that is from Rainbow Fabrics. I just had a meter of. This is going to look so weird trying to show you on camera because it's like, it's a kind of a shirt but not a shirt. So here's the collar, and then I have got to the stage where I have joined all the bits in terms of, you've got like, I've got it attached to both of the back and front yokes, and also to the, God, this is hard to show. Yeah, so this is like the front, so you've got the collar here that will eventually sort of fold back like that, and then you've got the facing, which, yeah, you then sew together. So yeah, it's not the easiest to show you in terms of where I'm at, but yeah, it looks like it's been eaten, doesn't it? It looks like someone like ripped the bottom part away. But yeah, so what do I have left to do? So yeah, I've got to join the center front like facing pieces, and then I can do the burritoing to add the back and join it all together. So it's not going to take me too much more time, and I probably have some time at the weekend to do some sewing. So yeah, hopefully that should get finished over the weekend, and I'll have a Donny shirt. And then, you know, I'm liking how it's looking so far. Obviously I don't really know the fit, but I could definitely see myself making a whole bunch more of these with some of the short lengths of fabric that I have kicking around in my stash. So yeah, it's going to be fun to have another pattern that's like that, because I feel like I have it for jersey things in terms of, you know, stuff that I know I can squeeze out of a meter or even like slightly under a meter, but I don't really have that for woven fabrics. So I'm hoping that, yeah, the Donny shirt might be that for me. Okay, so that is what I have been working on in terms of sewing. I do have some acquisitions to share with you. So since I last spoke with you, bought a few patterns that are new to me, and also a few fabrics. In terms of patterns, I have bought, so over it we're having a discount offer. I think it was 25% off on all of their patterns. So I went and bought the Pippa dress, which is like a book. Well, I was drawn in by, I saw Alma, who works for So Over It, had posted a picture and a video of one of hers that she'd made, and yeah, hadn't really registered on my radar that particular pattern. But when I saw Alma's, I thought, oh, that could be a really good spring summer dress. So yeah, I bought that one. I've also bought Tilly and the Buttons for having a discount as well as part of Me Made May. So I bought the Mabel top and dress pattern because I have never done shirring before. For some reason I bought the elastic, so I feel like I was planning to, and I don't know what pattern I was planning on doing with it, but yeah, I have some of the elastic kicking around in my drawers in my sewing table, but yeah, I've never actually got around to doing any shirring, so I thought that would be a nice pattern to give that a go with. So yeah, a couple of new patterns into my pattern stash. And yeah, a few fabrics. There is one more fabric that I had ordered, which unfortunately when it arrived they had sent me the wrong fabric, so that has gone back in the post to them, and hopefully the correct fabric will then find its way here. But that was a bit disappointing, but these things happen, and they were very quick to get back to me to apologise for sending the wrong fabric and giving me a link to create a postage label to return it back to them. So, you know, in the grand scheme of things, you know, everyone makes mistakes, right? You know, it's how you deal with those mistakes and go about rectifying them. So yeah, there is another fabric that I had ordered, but yeah, is not unfortunately here with me at the moment to show you, but I will show you it when it arrives. So I placed an order with Pound Fabrics. because I wanted some longer lengths for a few projects and patterns that I have in mind, that needed like more towards the like 3 meters mark. And you know, pound fabrics are very affordable in terms of fabric, so if you are needing if you are needing those longer lengths, they're a good place to check out and see what they have. So fabric number 1 is this double gauze. So it's like call it sort of like a sage minty green background, and then it's got these super cute, I mean, I'd say oranges and lemons, but the ones that are a bit more yellow are still quite round. So maybe they're just a different kind of orange. But yeah, super cute. And the reason I bought this is that I want to make the Peppermint magazine loungewear set, which is just a very simple basic top and trousers, with the idea that, you know, getting the double gauze fabric, that I feel like probably I want it as I don't think I want it as like a loungewear to be wearing around the house during the daytime. I want it to be cool, loose fitting pajamas for the summer months. So yeah, so there's 3 meters of that to make, yeah, Peppermint loungewear set. So the second fabric that I've got, again, there is 3 meters of it here, is a viscose linen look fabric. So it's 100% viscose, but it's got that like slub texture that you get with linen, and is this one. So it's on is it white or is it off-white? I think it's not like blinding brilliant white like hospital style. It's, yeah, a less bright white, I don't know. And then it's got this yeah, lovely sort of blue kind of painterly flowers and sort of more like leaf vines with just a little hint of this like goldy colour. So yeah, it's quite a big scale print. Hold it back, yeah, so you can see, but really nice and very, very spring summer appropriate. And yeah, so this could potentially be, obviously I want to try out the Pippa dress that I've bought. This could potentially be used for a Pippa. The other pattern that I am considering or wanting to try out, that, yes, between this and the next fabric that I'm going to show you, is the Matilda shirt dress by Megan Nielsen. I don't know if this is maybe a bit too drapey, because like I say, it is viscose. So even though it does have the like linen texture, it's still really drapey. But yeah, either of those 2 patterns for this. And then the final fabric that I got is is a viscose linen blend, or is it a viscose linen blend? Yes, viscose linen, summer salvage. And I did see this at the Stitch Festival when I was there in March, and I didn't buy it, but I regretted it, and then I saw it on Pan Fabrics. So again, 3 meters of this, and this one, yeah, it might be a little bit more suitable for the Matilda shirt dress, as it's got that bit more structure with the linen. But it is this one, which is, yeah, these lovely greens, sort of a darker background to it as well. And then you've got these lovely yellow, which again, coming back to my, I don't like yellow, but I like this. Yeah, this sort of yellow. I don't know, what would we call them? We call them roses or peonies, something kind of like that. Again, sort of like it's very much like paint strokes effect on this one. But yeah, I think you can see if I like just drape it, it does have more structure than the one I just showed you. So yeah, I think this one probably is more suited to Matilda shirt dress, and the other one is probably more suited to the Pippa dress. But yeah, that's the other fabric that I bought. They haven't been pre-washed yet, that's next on the agenda. I wanted to show them while they were still not crisp in the washing machine, so now that I have filmed this, I'll be able to get them in the wash and ready to sew with. One other thing to mention is that I was very excited to be contacted by Liana from Lamazi Fabrics. As you may have seen on my channel, I have done several unboxing videos about their recently launched Lamazi Makers Club, and shared my thoughts about what I've received in those bags. And obviously I just talked a little bit earlier about using the fabric from the first one. And they, so I was contacted to say that I had won the first prize for Lamazi Makers Club member of the month, because I had shared my thoughts on my YouTube channel. I also shared pictures of over on Instagram of the other the Ariel top that I shared a couple of weeks ago, that I had made from the April bag. So they're doing a prize each month for people showing what they've made with the club, which is very generous of them. And yeah, Liana contacted me to say I had won the one, the first one that they had chosen from people who'd shared stuff from the Makers Club bags. And yeah, I got a gift voucher for Lamazi, and that could be used on anything. So it could have been used just to buy from the shop in general, or towards another Makers Club bag. So I have ordered the one for May. So I think that's coming maybe in a week or so's time. So I will be sharing that here when it arrives. But yeah, that was really exciting. And yeah, thank you very much to Lamazi for choosing me as the first winner of that prize. And yeah, just to encourage people, if you have also been getting those bags, please do share your makes on Instagram, because you could be in a chance with being the next winner going forward. I think you have to just put the hashtag Lamazi Makers Club or something. I'm sure there's probably a post on their page to and probably on the listings for the club itself as to what you need to do to so they can see that you've shared. But yeah, that was very exciting. Okay, that is all of the sewing and creative crafty stuff. In terms of life and other bits and bobs, obviously, like I said last week, I was too busy to sew or film, and the reason for that was because I had booked the week off work alongside the bank holiday to redecorate in my bedroom. So the entire bedroom was just painted in like a off-white colour, so I wanted to change that up. So I've gone for I'll try and pop in a few pictures. It's a work in progress still, in that I have done the majority of the big painting, but I still need to get a new carpet, a new light fitting, put stuff on the walls, change up some furniture, so it's far from being the finished renovated room. But my aim was just to get the big bulk of painting the walls and the ceilings and the woodwork as much as possible done in that time off, which as I feel like whenever I see people doing fun renovation videos where they're painting on TikTok or wherever, they always make it look so carefree, easy breezy, and that is not my experience. It is a full body workout, especially when you're only 5'3". And I had one of those telescopic poles to go on the end of my roller, but it's still hard work, even though it's reaching up the high bits for you. You still have to sort of put some welly behind to get the paint on the wall or the ceiling, and also the pole, but they're only very they're quite narrow, and if you think ergonomically speaking, your whole hand kind of round your whole hand round something that's maybe no more than 1.5 inches maybe in diameter, it's actually quite tough on your hands and not the best. So I ended up, the necessity being the mother of all invention, I ended up, I just had some of those, those like really fluffy, like bed socks that you can get. I had a pair of those, and I just got my masking tape and just masking taped them to the handles. So I had something A, soft, and B, with a bit more diameter, shall we say, so that it was like easier to hold. Because I was just finding that, I was just getting cramp from my hand having to sort of be unnaturally in an unnatural position. But yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how it's come out. There's still a few little patchy bits that I'm going to like touch up as and when. And like I say, I've still got a whole bunch of other stuff to organise for it. The main big thing being getting a new carpet, because the one in there is looking very old and not happy with its own existence. But yeah, that took up all of the time that I had last week. And even when got to the end of the day and down tools, I was then just exhausted. So not much was done in the evenings either, after being painting all day. But it's done, and I'm hoping that over the next month or so I will get everything sorted and it will be finished, and it will feel like an achievement, and like this place is really mine, because it is mine. I just have taken my time about figuring out what I like and don't like, and about the place and what I need from it. So that has been my decorating heavy week. What else is there going on this week? So we're now off into another Formula One triple header of races over the coming weeks. So they are racing in Imola in Italy this weekend. There's also the FA Cup final happening on Saturday, and obviously it's a double header of events, in that obviously FA Cup final during the afternoon, and then it is Eurovision in the evening. And I know Eurovision isn't everyone's cup of tea, and if you are not from the UK/Europe or Australia, because the rules of Eurovision in terms of who's allowed to enter are mostly a free-for-all. But you might be thinking, what is Eurovision? But it's essentially a song contest that countries enter. So each country that's a participant nominates or votes for an entry to represent their country. It's typically very over the top, silly pop slash, but also then there's like sad power ballads. Like it's very extra. It's very extra, very over the top. It's very tongue in cheek. The British people who used to be a man called Terry Wogan, but now Graham Norton does it, who do this sort of like commentary for the evening. They're very sarcastic, tongue in cheek. It's definitely, don't take this too seriously, have fun. I really don't know how else to describe it. And it's a thing that a lot of people get very into and have like parties and stuff. And it's usually like one of the few nights of the year when like a bunch of the sort of WhatsApp group chats that I have suddenly are just like popping off of that evening, of people just going, oh my God, have you just seen this? What was going on here? What were their outfits? It's all good, hilarious fun. So I will be watching that as well, and just enjoying the fun of it all, because there's a lot of stuff in the world right now that is not happy and not fun, and I feel like Eurovision is something that everyone can just sit back and enjoy and have a good time with. So I'm looking forward to that. Okay, I think that is everything that I have. I'm not sure what my next video will be. Depends what sort of time I have at the weekend. I do need to sort of film a finished makes video, but I might possibly combine April and May's and do one at the end of May, since we're already on like the 13th. No, it's the 14th of May today, so we're already halfway through May, so I feel like maybe I will just combine the two in one video, as I've not made a huge amount. I don't think it will be a crazy long video. All right, I have talked for quite a long time because obviously I've had 2 weeks to catch you up on, and now I need to go and get some lunch and then get back to work. So I will say thank you very much for watching. Please do obviously give this video a like and subscribe, and if you want to keep in touch and help to share my channel with the sewing community, I'd love to hear in the comments if you have any different suggestions for the fabrics that I have bought from Pound Fabrics. I'd love to hear what other people's ideas were for them. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I will speak to you all again very soon.